What's up, everybody? I know it's been a while, but today we're going to be jumping into episode 34. I hope you enjoy it. So, beginning day 186, I believe, we finish a Gothixian cache, get to level 87 divination. Kind of cool just to be making progress in general. Doesn't unlock anything special, but it does kind of go to show how much progress I can be making strictly through cache, and how much I need to be doing this even more in the future. After that, because certain pouches were a profit to make through summoning, I decided to do a little bit of summoning, working on some Barker Toads, got to level 86 summoning, which is kind of cool. Unlocks her in Minotaur, but again, like the 87 divination, doesn't unlock anything too special, just really good to see progress in general. Looting a box trap, I'm pretty sure this was somebody else's, got me to level 88 Hunter, kind of cool again, doesn't unlock anything at all, not even anything small and trivial, but it is really good Hunter progress, just, again, cutting down time on a skill that I don't really enjoy to train, even though I can be crystallizing Grenwalls, which is very fast XP. Always good to get free Hunter XP from a box trap. As you can see from my Grand Exchange history, though, I did make over 5 mil making Terror Birds, and I did make a little over 4 mil on Barker Toads. Previously, Barker Toads were selling at 5k, or just under 5k, so they were undercut pretty hard. That's why I didn't make as much doing them as I had intended to. Had I known how much they were being undercut and how many people were competing and trying to sell them, I probably would have just stuck to the Terror Birds, but it is pretty cool. I mean, I was using Spirit Gems through most all of this, I think. Maybe I wasn't because they were golds. Regardless, though, good to use up some charms that I probably wouldn't have spent a lot of time thinking about otherwise, and making solid profit. I did end the day completing a Rocktail Fishing Challenge, 2343 total level, 138 mil total XP. Let's move on to day 187. Started the day off AFKing some Protean traps in the private hunter grounds, finally using up some of those tickets that I had spent so many points from the Big Chinchampa on, getting to level 89 Hunter. Pretty cool. Does unlock the Crimson Skill Champa, but it's nothing I'm really going to spend time with, so it's kind of irrelevant. After that, I was AFKing so hard I missed the level, but I did get to level 91 crafting, which is pretty cool. The really only important thing about this is the fact that I can now do the first stage of an effigy, should I be fortunate enough to not only get one, but also get one that I can actually open that it is crafting. And I mean, I guess I could try to assist, but the odds of running into someone who needs only 91 in crafting is pretty low, but it is still a really cool milestone nonetheless. That was pretty much the end of the day as far as my RuneScape progress goes, though I had spent a lot of time that night studying. I don't even know if I was AFKing harps most of that time or just actually forcing myself to study, and realizing my half-asleep self didn't actually open up the skill tab. I did some math based off of my XP counter. I do know I was at 139.5 mil XP and 2345 total levels, so that was the end of the day. Let's move on to day 188. Kicking the day off, finally getting around to finishing the Void Stairs back. Kind of a cool quest. More importantly, though, 120k XP drop and 100k into summoning. That's always cool. Getting Karasi's sword is also kind of nice, but I don't really know if I'm going to use it for very much. Might augment it in the future. We'll find out. But the important thing about this is that this was the last requirement I had as far as post-quest rewards from The World Awakes to unlock the 6th Age Circuit. One of the better rings that you can get without spending money for like a Ring of Death or something like that, or towards working toward the Asylum Surgeon's ring. But all things considered, it's a very solid ring. It's a hybrid ring, so I can use it for pretty much everything. This is going to replace pretty much every ring that I use actively as far as combat rings go. I'll still be using stuff like the Explorer's ring for the prayer bonus if I'm doing something like that. I'll also use it for the teleport. I'll still use a Ring of Wealth when I'm doing Clue Scrolls, but other than that, this is going to be my primary ring for just about everything. After that, I had finally completed my first Triskelion key, which is kind of cool. I had done dozens of them on my last account just because I'd gotten to 200 mil thieving, and you got a bunch of them through that, as well as getting them from the Dwarven Instinct Aura. But getting this, my first one, this far into the account, you'd think I would have gotten it sooner. Regardless, though, got a shitload of charms, and I am super hyped about that. That will get me so much summoning XP, and there's just not a whole lot else to say. I mean, it saves a lot of time. I don't need to camp for charms as hard as I did before. It's just really, really good. Went on to do Tears of Gothics, an awesome run, 192 tears. That's by far the best I have ever had. I typically have very poor luck here, so to have been able to Just kind of sit at a few streams for so long and get so many tiers for 57k thieving XP. I was so hyped. And it's not even hyped for the XP, it's just hyped to not have to stress and rage at this terrible minigame. Hit level 89 Dungeoneering, as with all odd levels, unlocks another floor, floor 45, which is pretty cool. Unlocks my big man Thunderous. Pretty fun boss. Getting up into the higher levels of Dungeoneering, having more fun with bosses just because there's a little bit more mechanics to them, I guess. And Dungeoneering is really the only time I enjoy messing with boss mechanics. So that was a pretty cool level. End of the day at 2346 total level, 140.8 mil XP, some pretty solid progress. Let's check out the next day. Began the day with level 90 Dungeoneering, and this is a very, very cool milestone because with this, not only can I use 4 bound items, looking back, I don't know if I've even added a 4th bound item to my preset when I start the floor. I should probably work on doing that, but this does unlock the Demon Horn necklace. Fantastic necklace, I absolutely love it. If you don't know what it does, it gives you prayer back on every bone that you bury, and it works with the Bone Crusher, so you can effectively kind of have infinite prayer points if you're killing things fast enough. This is very, very good at stuff like Dark Beasts, Hellhounds, anything that can really drop stuff like that. It also works with the Ectoplasmator if it's charged and it's scattering your ashes for you. So it can be very good at Krill. It's just a fantastic necklace overall, and I'm super hyped to have it and finally be able to use it. Speaking of Hellhounds, though, I went to Hellhounds after that, working on some clue scrolls and just kind of AFK training because was probably busy doing some sort of studying or schoolwork. Regardless, though, got to level 88 attack. Very cool progress there. And then after that, I had finally capped out another Balmung to level 10. Very cool there. Disassembling this got me from level 40 to 45 invention. Very solid progress. Realizing that Jagex had scammed me in the last clip and that I had actually got an 89 attack, but the chat said 89, but the pop-up said 88. That's been a glitch kind of going around for a while, and I knew it was going to mess me up in one of my episodes sooner or later, but regardless, got to level 90 attack in this clip. Very exciting in the fact that I can now use Drygores or even a Noxious Scythe should I want to. The only issue is that, like, if I was to do that, right, I would probably not augment them, even though if I had Drygores, it'd probably be better for me to augment them, just because I would be buying them and not selling them. At the point I'm at now, though, I've been using Balmungs to train melee for the most part, just because I can disassemble them instead of siphon them. They're still decent, you know, they're two-handed, so I can use great AoEs. So I don't see myself buying Drygores anytime super soon. I know they're very good, and I'm sure I will in time, and I'll make great use of them, but as it is right now, I think I'm probably just going to stick to my my Balmung and Crystal Halberd, stuff like that, until I see a strong need for me to actually invest in Drygores. After that, I went on to get level 83 strength and another level 10 Balmung in the same clip. Very cool timing there. I'm actually pretty happy about that. Disassembling that Balmung got me to level 49 invention. Pretty cool progress there. I haven't done a lot of invention since then. I have, of course, every now and then do some sort of combat or slayer, and I use augmented gear. I just haven't really made a lot of progress in terms of level 10 stuff to disassemble since then. After that, I went on to do Tribal Totem and Back to My Roots. Pretty garbage quests, to be honest. I didn't really like either of them very much, but they were pretty simple, easy enough quests, and they were requirements for the Ardoon task set, so that's kind of why I decided to actually get around to finally doing them this far into my account, even though they're very low-level, low-tier quests. I missed the quest reward screen, but I did also go on to complete Monk's Friend. Same deal as the other two, a requirement for the Ardoon task set, kind of why I'm finally getting around to it. Standard farm run after that got me to level 88 farming, pretty solid progress there. Gonna be quite a while until I finally get this up toward 99, but I am making pretty steady progress. I'm remembering to do my farm runs pretty much every day. It's very rare that I don't, so I think all in all, shouldn't be too awful. After that, I completed the easy Ardoon tasks, got tier 1 of the cloak, pretty cool there. Would like to make more progress in that soon though. As you can see, I'm ending the day. Stood next to some watermelons that I planted. These were for the Ardoon medium task set. Ending the day on 2360 total level, 144 mil XP, solid progress. Let's move on to day 190. Began the day harvesting those watermelons and finishing up tier 2, the medium task set for the Ardoon tasks. Very cool there. Nice to get this cape, nice to make some progress in it. I haven't done a whole lot of task sets on this account yet. There are still a handful of them that I haven't even touched, let alone gone for any sort of hard or elite task set completion on them. So finally getting progress into one of them has been pretty nice. No special levels on this day though. As you can see, I did get a solid amount of progress, coming up on 145 mil XP, 2630 or 2360. 2630 would be pretty nice, but no, 2360 total level. Let's move on to day 191. Finishing up AFKing some Ivy, got to level 86 woodcutting, pretty cool there. After that, I decided to try and superheat form Arctic pines. After doing some research later, I'm learning that this isn't quite as efficient as I thought it was. I thought it would be pretty great. Fortunately, it's not. Regardless, though, it is not too bad, and I did get 93 firemaking while I was here. Pretty solid progress there. Working on an adamant dragon task, did get the legendary, worth so much money dragon plate leg drop. It's probably only like 160k, something like that, but still kind of cool to get something decent. Probably one of the best things the adamant dragons can drop, to be fair. They really don't have a special drop table at all, but I figured the amount you get per task is pretty much like low in comparison to most other tasks, that it really wasn't worth the ban, so I decided to knock them out anyway. Wasn't able to get a whole lot done this day either, ending the day at 2362 total level, coming up on 144.5 mil XP. Let's move on to day 192. Now, I'd been working on an Abyssal Demon task, and as you may or may not know, Abyssal Demons drop a lot of gems, a bunch of rubies, diamonds, and it was just, they were taking up so much inventory space that I figured it would be worth it to buy a gem bag and upgrade it. Wasn't a whole lot of tokens, and I know it's going to pay off in the long run just in the amount of inventory space I'll save, the amount of time I can save in terms of not having to bank as much. And I mean, I guess if I was to try and avoid banking as much by not picking up as much stuff, it's just going to lead towards more profit overall, so I'm super happy about that. As you can see, I did wind up with an Abyssal Orb. It was a really strange sort of RuneScape just kind of DC'd and the client closed as I got it, so I was able to unfortunately miss the recording of the beam. I was actually super hyped about it because even on my last account, where I had thousands of Abyssal Demon kills, I had never gotten a wand or an orb. I had gotten a handful of whips, and there was even one time when I was using my mask that I had gotten a double whip drop, because every 10th drop using an Abyssal Demon mask from Treasure Hunter, you get double the loot, and coincidentally had lined up with a whip drop, so that was pretty cool, but had never had a wand or an orb before, so finally getting this one, a 500k drop, super stoked about it. After that, I went on to complete the quest One of a Kind. This is actually a pretty interesting quest in terms of lore. I actually pretty much, I enjoyed it a decent, I don't want to say a lot, but I enjoyed it a decent amount in comparison to other kind of garbage lower tier quests. You get the Dragon Rider amulet from it, which is pretty nice. Very solid hybrid amulet, solid prayer bonus on it. Not as strong as a Fury. Fury you get, I believe it's 32 in every stat. It doesn't have a prayer bonus though. And the Saradomin Murmur is actually better for magic statistically, but I believe the bonus you get on Dragon Breath through using the Dragon Rider amulet probably counteracts that enough to make the Dragon Rider amulet more worth it. A bunch of XP lamps, overall very solid reward from this quest. Went on to complete Taibo and I Trio, another lower tier quest that you would have assumed I would have had done a long time ago, but nope, I have completed the Light Within and a bunch of other high tier quests without even touching a bunch of Karamja tasks and quests, so finally getting this done, also very cool there. Dueling Hellhounds for Clue Scrolls after that. As you can see, Jagex scammed me again in the pop-up. I got 84 strength, not 83. Solid progress here as well. Now I'm only one strength level away from having all of the stat requirements necessary for every quest in the game, as is right now. This might not be relevant later when more higher tier quests come into the game, but as of right now, this is the only thing I have left, and that's actually a requirement for Birthright of the Dwarves. Other than that, I have stat requirements for every quest in the game. But, of course, there are some quests that I just can't do because of other quest requirements, prerequisites that I need to knock out first. Now, it was at this point that I decided to try Crystallizing Teaks, which is actually pretty awesome XP per hour. This was before I had kind of started to bother with the Light Form Prayer, before I even realized how good it was. It's actually super good, and I'm never going to Crystallize Teaks without it again, but got to level 87 woodcutting while I was here. Very solid progress overall, very good XP per hour, and pretty satisfied that I'm actually starting to operate at max efficiency in terms of XP per hour in most all skills now that I have so many different options available to me. I ended the day soon after that though at 2364 total level, 146.8 mil XP, very good progress on this day. Let's move on to day 193. It's a very short day in terms of clips. I got level 87 agility from Jack of Trades, which is very cool, and then I got around 600k XP throughout the day, and that was pretty much it. No special levels, but ended the day at 2365 total level, 147.4 mil XP. Let's move on to day 194, another pretty short day. Began the day with level 88 smithing from the Citadel. This is actually a very, very strange smithing level, and just in the fact that pretty much every smithing level up until this point, I've shown you guys that I unlocked something. Even if it wasn't something good, I still unlocked something, and this was the only level that I can really remember that I just didn't unlock anything, which is kind of strange, and I thought that was interesting and worth sharing with you guys. After that, though, working on my daily Wicked Hood runs, got to level 85 rune crafting. This unlocks flesh platforms, really just makes rune crafting in RuneSpan much more convenient. That was the end of the day, though. 2367 total level, 148.16 mil XP. Let's move on to day 195, the last day of this episode. Now, day 195 was the day that NXT was released as an open, or a closed beta rather, and it was absolutely beautiful. Now, as beautiful as it was, it still is very far from a completed well, I don't want to say very far. I'm sure they've come very, very, very far in terms of making it what it is, but it still is not ready for the live game, and it will definitely require a lot more bug fixes. Now, here I'm displaying one of them to you. I discovered if you get into one of the pools at Uglog and then you get out, your character is kind of stuck in the position it was, and I was doing this on stream, and this was absolutely hysterical. I thought this was one of the funniest things I have ever seen on RuneScape, and I wanted to share it with you guys too. So this is me kind of sliding around on my ass across the southern area of the Feldip Hills, and one of the funniest things I have ever seen in this game. But regardless of the small graphical glitch, you cannot deny that NXT looks absolutely fucking amazing. Now, for myself personally, as it is right now, I get the best response around medium, I think, graphics. Getting into high or ultra is kind of a little bit delayed and laggy as far as my camera movements go anyway. But here I'm actually in ultra, and I'm displaying to you the draw distance of NXT from the Arendar Pass. You can see all the way down to Ledia. You can see so far into Turanwin, and it's absolutely incredible. The horizon is gorgeous. You can even see the Max Guild from here, and that is our goal, guys. That is what we are aiming for on this account. That is the biggest goal on this account, and here it is in HD definition. High definition is what I just said. We're going to pretend that didn't happen, but you can't deny that this looks absolutely gorgeous. It is. I mean, I'm very, very sad that it's not open to continue playing, because, I mean, I, number one, thoroughly enjoyed playing it, and number two, I sent in a dozen or more little bug fixes as reports for them, hoping that, maybe my feedback can help make NXT that much better. As with most things, if you have feedback on something and you hate something Jagex has done, or you think something needs to be fixed, send in a bug report, post on the forums. It's not going to get fixed unless they know about it. And I am literally blown away by how good they have made such a simplistic game look. I don't want to say it's unrecognizable, because it's still very recognizable. You see that, you'd be like, oh yeah, that looks like RuneScape. But at the same time, if you compare this to like old school graphics, it's ridiculous. It's mind-blowing. It's absolutely beautiful. With that tour, though, I did decide to get off NXT, play on the regular client, really for no reason other than I wanted to focus a little bit more on gameplay and a little less on the aesthetics, and I wanted to not have the delay of the camera moving around when I was in higher graphics. Regardless, though, I did go on to complete the hard task set for the Ardune set. The important part about this is that now I have a free teleport to the Ardune farming patch every day. I am quite a ways off of getting the elite tasks done. The elite gives you unlimited teleports to the farming patch, which of course would be beautiful, would be ideal. But it's going to be quite a while until I can actually finally get there. After that, I went on to complete Song from the Depths, really just because I've been looking at my quest log and thinking, you know what, I have so many quests that I could be doing that I just haven't done. There's no reason for me not to do them, other than just not wanting to, and I want to get my quests done before I max, so I figured if I was in the mood, just to knock it out. This really doesn't do anything too special, except it reduces some of the damage you take from QBD. I don't really like QBD, I don't intend to do a lot of QBD, so it's really just kind of a filler quest. After that, finally trying out crystallizing Grand Walls was beautiful XP. Still something that can be a little bit frustrating though, because I haven't really got it down, and of course, I'm not super high hunter, so there are still many times that Grand Walls troll me and knock my traps over. But got to level 90 hunter, very cool. Loving it. Will definitely be doing a lot more crystallizing Grand Walls, probably all the way to 99, other than, of course, box traps in there. This is going to be how I get 99 hunter. Working with superheat form after that though, got to level 88 mining. Very cool progress there. I love using superheat form. I've recently, of course I'm talking back several days. At this point right now I'm on like day 200, even though this is day 195, so a little bit of a time discrepancy in terms of when I'm commentating versus when this happened, but when I am now, Rune Metrics is in the game, and I'm kind of calculating XP per hour and stuff with different things, and I'm finding out that maybe training to 99 mining through superheat form might not be the best way to go. I'm still definitely looking at different options and what I should maybe do, but from my experience and what I've realized, basically superheat form in the Living Rock Caverns is like a cumulative 200k XP per hour max using urns and using goldsmith gauntlets, of course, which is pretty much around like, I think it's around 120k mining and 80k smithing, something like that. So it's pretty good. But theoretically, if I could get a better overall XP per hour through doing two different methods, like say if I was to do Sarin stones, which are easily 250 or 280k mining XP per hour, then I was to find something smithing that would average out with that to be above 200k-ish XP per hour, then that would definitely be more efficient overall in terms of time, and potentially could maybe be profit if I did the right sort of thing, but smithing prices could be kind of funky. I'd really just be relying on invention demand to make that work, I would think. And also, of course, relying on things like wasteless smithing and portable forge, but I'd love your opinions in the comments on what I should do for mining and smithing. Now, I'll kind of give you two options. My original plan was to superheat form in the Living Rock Caverns all the way to 99 mining. Theoretically, through doing that, the ratio of mining to smithing XP should get me to around, I would estimate at least 94 or 96 smithing, maybe even 97, which would be really cool. And then I would only have 2 levels to get up toward 99, which I could do with whatever method. However fast, however slow, it would be not a whole lot of money spent because it's only a very small fraction of the XP as to what I would have needed beforehand. Getting all the way up to 94 to 97 with just prayer renewals would be pretty fantastic. Now the second option is to camp Sarin stones when I get the level for it, and to do something else for smithing I could do things like adamant plates, which are still kind of a decent loss. I think adamant 200s are probably better, maybe some lower tier rune things, but again, this is all kind of funky and depends a lot on price fluctuation, but still definitely an option. I don't know the XP per hour of a lot of those things just because I haven't tested them yet, but again, throw your opinion in the comments below. I'd be very willing to test some of these things and see if maybe I'd get a better overall average XP per hour if I was to divide them up instead of doing them simultaneously. And of course, efficiency and time saved is the goal here, but I'm going to leave this clip at that. Throw me your comments below. After that, though, with some Hef and Voice of Sarin, I did get to level 88 agility. Very cool progress there. Agility is one of those skills that I just hate, and even though Proof Dennis does make it a million times better than it used to be, and stacking that with Heffen as well is fantastic, I'm still throwing my free XP into agility just because it's not something I enjoy, and I'm trying to do agility whenever the Hef and Voice of Sarin is active as well, just to kind of cut down the amount of time I actually have to train this as much as possible. That was the end of the day, though, and the end of this episode at 2370 total level, 149.6 mil XP. We have had some fantastic progress overall, not only in terms of levels, but also a bunch of quests. Some very cool milestones were hit. Overall, I'm very happy with the progress we've made. I hope you are also as excited as I am. Hope you have a beautiful day. Hope you have enjoyed this episode. Stay happy, and I cannot wait to see you next time because I will return and I will rebuild.